Hello interwebs, it is I, David, the almost into the backdrop. David the unready. David the unfit? David the unfit probably works best for me. This is a burn and learn. This is my bid to stay alive and fit long enough to raise my amazing son, currently gaming in the other room, thus I am here. And to enjoy the coming twilight years, my brilliant, beautiful wife Jane talking on the phone upstairs, which is why I'm here. I hate exercise, it's boring, so I like to learn something while I'm doing it. I like to share what I learned with you in the sweatiest, most miserable, self-indulgent way possible. If you don't see a video, it means I didn't exercise, and I didn't exercise yesterday. I don't know what has happened to me. I'm getting into this like 2-day off thing. So what I've done is I've reduced the resistance that I'm doing. I've made it slightly more pleasant to do my terrible torture device. I was normally doing 7 resistance and then 6. I am now not, I tried a little bit of 7 and I was like, what's the point of this? I'm just like, I just feel miserable. I don't want to do it. So I'm hoping that this will get me back into the every other day thing, that I won't feel quite so sort of put off by it, because it's been, it's been kind of miserable getting on that machine of late. So anyways, God, I had the best chat today. I had 2 amazing things happen to me recently. One was I watched Roma on Netflix. This movie, Roma, is, I think it may be like a perfect film. Like, it's just absolutely stunning. I mean, is it happy? No. Is it very, very exciting? Kind of, in a weird way, yes. Like, for something that seems so mundane, I sort of was on the edge of my seat for numerous times throughout that film. Just gorgeous. So go see Roma. It's on Netflix. I won an Oscar for Best Foreign Film, I guess, in the years before you could award foreign films best films. I loved Parasite. I thought Parasite was fantastic. But Roma is a whole other world of beauty. I mean, it's just extraordinary. Anyway, so watched that last night. I also, speaking of a world of beauty, I had a wonderful chat with James Gurney today, who is an old sort of acquaintance of mine from the internet days. He was, I guess, at university at the time. He had a real passion for viruses and phages and all sorts of things like that. Very knowledgeable guy. Did a series of videos on YouTube, which you should check out. I'll see if I can find a link somewhere. He is now working in the States, and it was just really nice to catch up with him. And he's married, and he's sort of settled down into sort of so-called grown-up life. But it's just amazing to talk to him, because he's also big in RStudio on this basically sort of data analysis system. It's a programming language, but RStudio sits on top of this rather sort of, shall we say, cryptic language, and just allows you to sort of play with data in a way that's just it's amazing. So anyways, I had mentioned an appreciation for that. He has agreed to be my Obi-Wan Kenobi when it comes to big data, and I can ask him questions. And so I'm hoping to play with some RStudio. I have another friend who I should really mention here, Allan, who I've been talking to on Twitter, who is responsible for building Hermiad, a little Asgard alien for me in 3D that I can now use in my videos. So I'm very much looking forward to trying to figure out how to make that work. Of course, I have to learn how to use Cinema 4D first. But huge shout out to Allan, who's just been going back and forth with these just amazingly, some of them very creepy, admittedly, 3D model stuff that they've been doing. So anyway, so thank you to him as well. Great chat yesterday with Q, who is really hunkered down. I mean, he is hunkered. This virus thing is very, very dangerous for him, and so he's hunkered down in Vancouver Island, and of course I am obviously hoping out for the best for him. He's got a Kickstarter that you may want to check out, where he's going to play with this very exotic yeast, and how he does this I don't know, because from his bed he's running this amazing Instagram that constantly updated with all sorts of amazing culinary creations that he's up to. He's basically like an experimental cook, and so he's doing that. So do check out that Kickstarter, and if you could throw a couple of bucks at him, it's not an expensive Kickstarter. It's a little bit of money that's going to go a long way for him, and it should be fun too. I mean, I'm really looking forward to keeping track of what's happening with the yeast stuff, and I'm wondering if maybe there's even a way that myself and the Steam Sisters might be able to sort of get on board on that as well. So I've thrown him a bit of money. I would suggest, don't buy a coffee today and put some money in Q's Kickstarter. Again, I'll put a link in there. What did I learn today? Back to data science. I have finished. It's kind of sad to see it go. Cheerio, data mining. So the data mining section is over. I'm now into basically text analysis and text text mining, which I didn't even realize I was going to be excited about, but of course I am, because this is really great for sort of figuring out the sentiment. Like, it's for basically, you know, what is the sentiment about things online? What is the sentiment on Twitter or movie reviews and all this kind of stuff? So it's just really neat the way that stuff's going to work, and the different models or you know, algorithms and statistical approaches they take to this stuff. Because of course, there's obviously more, but two specifically distinct ways, where one of them actually is natural language processing, where it's looking at the words in context and how they work together, and the other one's basically bag of words, which I just like to say. I just like saying it, bag of words. So it's not really giving any credence to any one. I mean, I suppose you could, but in the bag of words approach, it's really just looking at the words by themselves. So very eager to see what happens with that. I'm very eager to play with RStudio and then to run it by my new Obi-Wan Kenobi of RStudio, Mr. James Gurney. So I may be a little quiet the next little while. I am on night shoots as of tomorrow with Maestro Del Toro, so I'm very, very much looking forward to this. So I start that tomorrow night. Should be done by Tuesday. So if I don't see you before then, I apologize, but I am hoping, you know, it's a weekend. It's a weekend, and there's got to be time for a Burn and Learns or Twitch streams or something of that sort. So there you have it. That is a little Burn and Learn for the day. Thank you very much, and until we geek again, Spuddy or not, cheerio! Woohoo!